What is the most tasteless joke you've ever heard? A woman was in a coma. She had been in it for months. Nurses were in her room giving her a sponge bath. One of them was washing her private area and noticed that there was a slight response on the monitor when she touched her. They tried it again and sure enough there was definite movement. They went to her husband and explained what happened, telling him, as crazy as this sounds, maybe a little oral stuff will do the trick and bring her out of the coma. The husband was skeptical, but they assured him that they'd close the curtains for privacy. The husband finally agreed and went into his wife's room. After a few minutes the woman's monitor flatlined, no pulse, no heart rate. The nurses run back into the room. "What happened?" they cried. The husband said, "I'm not sure, I think maybe she choked."
A very strange dream and an odd coincidence. So a couple of months ago, my grandma was at the hospital for her final moment. My parents were with her along with her 3 other children. I came to visit her but left a couple of hours before she passed. I went home and went to sleep and had a strange dream. In my dream, I was flying in the room of my grandma, and I was seeing all of my aunts and parents that were also there. Suddenly, it became really cold, and I became very afraid like I should not be here. That was not my business. I then flew away and 1 millisecond later, and woke up. I noticed the hour, then go back to sleep. The next morning, my mother announced to me that my grandma died at exactly the same time that I woke up from this dream that I vividly remember. What happened? Is it just a coincidence? Might it have a deeper meaning?
What's a telltale sign two people are having a secret relationship with each other? I was at a barbecue with dozens of people. A young ridiculously beautiful married couple was there. The wife was pregnant. They brought their short, squat, funny man roommate with them. At some point funny man and pregnant wife are on opposite sides of the kitchen and I caught a glance between them, no more than a blink of an eye. It was the only interaction they had all night. In that instant I have never been more sure two people were wrestling. Told my girlfriend those two are smashing. She told me to stop being a creep. Sure enough 6 months later everyone finds out they're wrestling and funny man is the dad. What's the scariest story you know of with actual photographic proof? There's a lovely pic of a dad with a kid on his shoulders, a town crossroads in the background, a parked car right behind them and people all around. Seems innocent until you look up Homa bombings and see the state of the same spot 10 minutes later. The kid and man in the photo pose next to a car packed with 500 pounds of fertilizer-based explosives. It was planted there by a splinter group of the IRA. The IRA had agreed to a ceasefire after decades of unrest in Northern Ireland called the Troubles. The splinter group didn't agree and planted the bomb. It killed 29 people including a woman pregnant with twins and injured over 200, making it the most deadly one-off incident of the Troubles. Eerie to see the first photo and know within minutes the place would be shattered. What is the most effed up thing a person you know has done? My uncle is a real piece of shit. The scummiest human being I believe I will ever know. The most effed up thing he's done is actually a cycle that he's repeated too many times: start a family, then run. He'll convincing these women he's a good guy, has changed or was in the wrong place, wrong time or whatever, gets them pregnant, and then leaves once the baby is out. He's always short of money so before he leaves he would manipulate and rob family. He stole my dad's identity and took a business loan with his first son. Bro has been in and out of jail his whole life, and I wish that fucker would just sit in there and rot. Every couple of years I have strangers reaching out saying they're part of Aaron's family and they want to meet their extended family, and we're like, so you hate Aaron? Yeah, us the fuck too. Welcome to the family. What high school conspiracy turned out to be true at your school? There were rumors about a music teacher and a student, but they were both pretty dramatic people and did very little to dismiss the talk. So half the school wanted to believe it for the salacious thrill and half just waved it off as attention-seeking and shit-talking. The teacher got canned without explanation. Most of us just figured it was budget-related. A math teacher filled in on his music and theater roles. Years later I randomly caught up with the student and she said the rumors were true. She freaked out and tried to end things to shake off the reputation, and eventually the teacher showed up trashed and naked on her family's front lawn, in the rain, yelling out for her.
Minor glitch just happened to me, just now. I was walking through the downstairs living room with my personal phone in hand heading upstairs. I glance over and see my work phone sitting on one of the chairs. I consider whether I'm going to need it for the rest of the night. Needed charge, anything like that, or if I could just let it sit there till morning. In a split second as I'm walking past it having this thought, I decide, it can sit there till morning, making a mental note of where it is so I remember it in the morning. I walk upstairs into my kitchen, put my personal phone down on the counter, and walk to the trash can to throw something away. Walk back over and pick up my personal phone, which is no effing poop sitting on top of my work phone. In my kitchen on the counter, I stopped dead in my tracks, started saying what was happening, and my daughter started getting scared, so I just said, I must have just been mistaken. But what in the actual duck was that?
What was the most messed up joke you pulled? My dad put my mom's phone in her coffin with her for her burial. About 3 months later I thought it would be funny to change her number on his phone to mine and I text him saying get me out of this fucking box. He didn't see the funny side and didn't speak to me for almost a year. What is an unspoken, universal rule all males know? You can shake and you can dance but the last drops always end up in your pants. If anything is floating in the toilet when you pee it instantly becomes a target. Every time you grab the tongs click them twice to make sure they work. The wide step. You all know. The nod. When leaving you must smack your pockets to make sure everything is there. Always cup your hands in the shower and let it go once it fills up.
Ladies of Reddit, what's the weirdest thing a guy has done during sex? Surprise ice cube in my butthole. Said his best guy friend's name at climax. Brothers before hoes has a new meaning. He moaned his own name when he came. Still makes me laugh thinking about it. First he says he doesn't mind eating out, but is against putting fingers inside. Okay. Now we're getting down to it and he randomly asks, do you like big dick porn? I say no, but he's not listening because he's already getting out an iPad to play one of his favorites so we can watch while we go. He was pretending that he was the male actor complete with timing his strokes with theirs, in a compilation video.